Okay, I'm going to point out the muscles of the leg, and so let's orient ourselves first. We're looking at the anterior side. This would be medial, right? So right here, this would be the pubic region. This is the pubic symphysis. So this is medial, and this is lateral. All right, so let's talk about the four muscles that make up the quadriceps femoris, and they're like the first group that you see. This muscle running straight up and down the center, this is the rectus femoris. And so the muscle that if we move medially, this is the vastus medialis, right? And then if we go lateral, this is the vastus lateralis. So rectus femoris, vastus medialis because it's on the medial side, vastus lateralis because it's on the lateral side. Now, in order to see the vastus intermedius or intermedialis, I need to remove this long strap-like muscle that, if you see, kind of starts more lateral and wraps around more medially. This is the sartorius. Okay, so this is the sartorius. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Okay, remove that. Then remove the rectus femoris. And this muscle directly under it, this is the vastus intermedius. So that's the vastus intermedius or vastus intermedialis. Either one is fine. All right, so remember I had already removed the sartorius, okay? All right. Now let's look, this muscle right here, okay? This is the adductor longus. This is the adductor longus. If we look on the medial side, this strap-like muscle that goes straight up and down the medial side, this is the gracilis. This is the gracilis. Now, if you look, you can see a portion of it, okay? If we're moved back from the gracilis, you can see a portion of this muscle. And if I remove the gracilis, you can see a lot more of it. This huge muscle, this is the adductor magnus. Okay, so this is the adductor longus. Okay, this is the adductor magnus. Let's see. Now, if we move to the posterior side, okay, posterior, and this is actually more lateral and posterior. This huge muscle. This is the Gluteus Maximus, and right here, this is the Gluteus Medius. So Gluteus Medius, Gluteus Maximus. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the Gluteus Maximus. Right? Now, these muscles that are on the posterior side, and they look like little, bands or straps. These are like your hamstrings. And if you look, so let's orient ourselves. This is the medial side. This is the lateral side. This muscle on the lateral side, this is the biceps femoris. This is the biceps femoris. Okay? More medial, you can see there's one muscle that sits right on top of another muscle. This muscle that you see immediately, this one is the semitendinosus. Semitendinosus. Now, the muscle that's directly below that and kind of bulges from the sides, this is the semimembranosus. Okay? So this is the biceps femoris. This is the semitendinosus. And then the muscle directly behind that that's bulging from the sides, that's the semimembranosus. Okay? Now let's look, I'll go ahead and start pointing out some of the muscles of the lower leg. And this first huge muscle of your calf, that's the gastrocnemius. Okay, so this is the gastrocnemius. Now on the paper I have listed the lateral head and the medial head. On the exam you just have to be able to tell me that this is the gastrocnemius, this huge muscle right there. Okay? Now I need to remove these to make it easier. Okay. If I remove the gastrocnemius, This muscle directly below it, another major muscle of your calf, this is the soleus. Okay? This is the soleus. If I remove this. All right, remove the soleus. This muscle right here, after you remove the soleus, this is the tibialis posterior. So tibialis, because it's behind the tibia, right? And then posterior, because it's on the posterior side. So this is the tibialis posterior. All right. Now, let's see, which way do I want to go? Let's move back to the anterior side. So if we want to orient ourselves, this is the tibia. Okay, this is the tibia, which is the medial bone of the lower leg. This muscle right here, okay, which would be on the medial side, right? This muscle right here. This is the flexor digitorum longus. This is the flexor digitorum longus. All right. So again, here's the tibia, and then this is more on the lateral side. This muscle right here is the tibialis anterior, right? So because it's right next to the tibia and it's on the anterior side, this is the tibialis anterior. Remember, we looked at the muscle back here. This is the tibialis posterior on the posterior side. So this is the tibialis anterior. Okay, move more lateral. This muscle right here, this is the extensor digitorum longus. The extensor digitorum longus. It's on the lateral side. Extensor digitorum longus. Keep moving. Okay, this muscle right here, since it's on the lateral side and it's quite long, so lateral side, this is where the fibula would be, and so this muscle is the fibularis longus. This is the fibularis longus. Okay, and the fibularis longus, and that's it.